What's up, my peeps? Welcome back to another edition of the plant-based YouTube channel cooking show with yours truly, Chef Ed, moi. I'm joined by my amazing, beautiful host, Jane Harris, aka Wifey, right? AKA the inspiration behind all of my Nigerian dishes. Now, if you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're an OG, welcome back. All right. What you're gonna get on this channel is a lot of plant-based dishes, but sometimes those dishes will be Nigerian. Now, granted, if you know Nigerian food, you know that it is heavily concentrated on a lot of meat, right? There's goat, beef, fowl, you name it, right? Snail. But the fact that this is a plant-based channel, we can't do none of that.
Period.
Right? And we won't do none of that.
We don't need it.
We don't need it. So what we're gonna do is veganize the heck out of some Nigerian food, which we have already.
And that's what Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Period. We have written a cookbook with a bunch of Nigerian dishes, all vegan. But today, ladies and gentlemen, you are in for a delicious treat. We are making one of the undefeated heavyweight champions of the world when it comes to rice.
Boom!
It's known throughout the world.
Boom!
Right? There's even competitions about this rice, about who makes it better. Is it Ghanaian? Is it Sinhalese? Is it Nigerian?
Talking about Ghanaian and Senegalese.
Yes. I'm just saying, like, you know, these are people,
naming them.
you know, I'm just saying, like, you know, that's
Either
how
way,
crazy it is.
We the best.
Right? Nigerian jollof rice is where it's at.
Period.
So, traditionally, right, Nigerian jollof rice is done in a multitude of ways.
Yeah.
Right? But today, we're shortcutting that because, you know, this is the modern age. So we got to get with the program. All right? So what we did was turn our oven on to 400 degrees, get it nice and hot, and then bam! Right here, what you're looking at is onions, sweet red bell peppers, and tomatoes. We basically roasted it in the oven for a couple of reasons. One, to pre-cook it. Two, to develop flavor, right? And this is gonna be pretty much the base for our jollof rice, all right? It's not the only thing we're gonna use. We also have this elixir right here of vegetables. Do you remember what's in here, sweetheart?
Yeah. Garlic, shallots, onions, carrots, and thyme, bay leaves, and that's it.
Ginger,
That's right.
turmeric. All right, you said bay leaves.
Yes.
All of this gets cooked down. Celery, right? All of this gets cooked down. Oh, we forgot one of the most important things: Scotch bonnets.
Oh yes.
We gotta bring the heat. Nigerian food is known for spiciness, right? So our broth has lots of these aromatics in there and tons of flavor. We bring all of this to a boil and we add some curry to this.
Yes.
Right? And smoked paprika, right? We bring all of that to a boil and we reduce it slowly, right? And then we turn it off and we blend everything together. All of the veggies, all of the aromatics, the ginger, the garlic, the bay leaves, the thyme, all of it gets blended in here. And this right here, combined with this, is how we're gonna create this beautiful jollof rice. So stay tuned. You're in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Hi. Okay. Let's do it. Jane Harris.
Yes. So we're gonna blend all of this.
I'll get a glove on
Yes.
so I can put everything in the blender for you.
Oh, you're so cute. It smells so
Combination.
good.
Okay. All right. Normally, we will do a really massive batch of jollof rice because we love it so much. But today, you know, we're doing a small batch just so we can focus and concentrate on what it is that we're doing. Right?
It smells so good.
It does smell good. That's all that roasted goodness. All right? Okay. Make sure we get all of the little bits in there.
Every single bit of it.
You know what I mean? Granted, that's not a lot. Okay. we're gonna add just a little bit of the stock.
I like that. I was waiting
Right?
for you to do it.
We're gonna add just a little bit of this just to kind of get everything going. Not that the machine really needs it, but we want to assist, right? So we're adding about, yeah, let's say a cup, right?
Yes.
A cup, is that good, chef? All right, so let's turn this baby on. Number one, start slowly, and then we build speed. That's it.
I'll take that as a spread every day.
Period.
So good.
So we're ready to get cracking. All right, I have a second Scotch bonnet out here. All right, that we're gonna put in whole because we love spice, we love heat, and the flavor that this gives is bar none. All right, we also have some tomato paste that we're gonna use for flavor and color. All right, yep. And we're gonna add a little bit of liquid smoke. Ladies and gentlemen, you're on a plant-based channel. This is how we impart smoky flavor into our plant-based dishes. This is one way, all right? Between liquid smoke and smoked paprika,
You can't go wrong.
we are covered, all right? And then normally, sometimes for a nifty trick, if you have access to charcoal, you can light one of those, make a little well in your rice, put the lit charcoal in there with some foil, and just kind of let it give off that beautiful mesquite or hickory smoke. I'm telling you, it's a game changer, all right? So let's get this going because I'm hungry and I want to eat, all right? All right, peeps, we are ready to assemble the Marvel's group. We have bay leaves all the way from St. Lucia, and I emphasize on the fact that they're all the way from St. Lucia because these are not like the bay leaves you get in the store. They are super potent, and you can actually smell them when you cook with them, which you should be able to with any herbs that you use, all right? We have some fresh chopped onions, our whole Scotch bonnet. We have our tomato paste. Now, my wife would like to go with the tomato paste first, but what I will do is I will go with the onions first so I can caramelize them just a little bit.
I agree with you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sweetheart.
you're absolutely right.
I love you.
Love you
So,
too.
onions are going in, right? So we can develop a little bit of color.
I learned that from you.
Thanks, sweetheart. And also, we're gonna add our bay leaves, all right? These were picked fresh, and then we dried them for 2 days in the sun
Ugh.
while we were in St. Lucia. So
Awesome.
these are a labor of love.
We have the video of that, right?
We
need to
do.
post it.
We need to post that. It'll be on our YouTube channel shortly.
Yes.
So right now we're gonna put, let's say 4, 5.
5.
5 in there, you know what I mean? Because we love that flavor.
We do.
We love that flavor. And this baby's gonna go in too because,
Period.
you know, that's just what it is. Alright? Thanks for cooking with me, babes.
I love cooking with you.
You're so cool. Ow. Okay, so we're just gonna let this sizzle, lightly caramelize. The minute we add our tomato product, aka tomato paste, it's gonna almost stick. It might look like it's burning. If that's the case, you want to turn the fire down. You don't want to burn your tomato paste, right? Because you're using that for flavor. So if it's burnt, it's gonna lend a burnt flavor to your rice, and we don't want that. Smoke and burnt is two completely different things.
You're right. I learned that the hard way.
Yeah. So right now, we're just sweating our veggies, our aromatics. All right, the bay leaves are releasing all of that beautiful oil, all that aroma, all that flavor right into our oil. And we're gonna give this maybe about 30 more seconds or so for our onions to do their thing. And then we're gonna go with our tomato paste, all right? Okay, we're almost there. And the reason we're using such a massive pot is because you don't want to overcrowd your rice
Period.
in your pot. Then it's not going to really steam properly.
Period.
So more space is better for your rice to cook evenly. Yeah.
This is on camera. You see, I see you're putting yourself on blast. Crazy chef over here.
I am very crazy.
Well, very talented.
But this is why you love me.
Period.
Period. Point
We
blank.
just celebrated our 14-year anniversary.
15.
14.
Is it
14. Feels like 15, but it's 14.
Tell me in the future. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's already 15 where I'm from.
I love it.
All right, sweetheart. You ready?
Oh, it smells so good.
Yes. It does, doesn't it?
That combination of the bay leaves
Tell
and
'em, babes.
onions is not to be played with.
Tell them, babes. You will come to find that Bailey's is one of your best friends when it comes to cooking plant-based food because it lends to flavors that you might associate it with meat and
You
things
are
like
right. I was waiting for your reason. In my head, that was my reason, but I'm glad that I'm right. You are so, it gives it like a meaty flavor, a robust, meaty flavor.
that. Is that right?
Yeah. Did I use the words correctly?
You sure did, babes.
Yeah.
You sure did.
Spoken like a true chef's wife, right?
Oh, giggity, giggity. All right. Want to scrape these all out of here? All right.
So you're using 2 of these jars.
We're using 2 of these jars.
I'll scrape it for you.
Well, thanks, babe. Right, we're using 2 of these jars because we want to impart a lot of flavor, right? And we're making a decent amount of rice, okay? If when you add your tomato paste, there's not enough oil to kind of fry it because you want to fry it, right? I want to say fry, not fry as in deep frying, right? But you want to cook it enough so that you can release the oils from the tomato paste, and you want to fortify the flavor, the texture, the color, all of that good stuff. All right? So we'll cook our tomato paste until it almost looks like it's drying, which it won't because it's in oil. But you'll understand when you make the dish and you see it, right? So our tomato paste is almost there, and like I said, you want to make sure you have enough oil in your pot when you add your tomato paste so it's not dry, all right? Because you want it to really cook in the oil and that oil release, because that oil is going to carry that flavor and the color throughout all of your rice, okay? All right, babes, our tomato paste is ready. What are we doing next?
We're gonna add a generous amount of smoked paprika.
And why are we adding smoked paprika, babe?
Again, to build flavor.
What kind of flavor, Jane?
Oh, come on, man. That's a test. I don't know.
Smoky flavor.
Smoky flavor.
All right, we're adding it to build smoky flavor. Okay, because normally in Nigeria, right, or anyone,
yes,
you'll get that smokiness from meat. And since we're not using any meat, we gotta find other ways.
You see how he tested me, right? You know, I'm trying to make sure.
You gotta find genius ways to add that flavor.
100%.
Now I will say, once you add your smoked paprika, it's gonna pretty much dry up all of your oil. So we need to be ready with all the other ingredients. So that's good. We're gonna add this puppy, right? And then we're gonna start to, ooh!
You alright?
Just got splattered on there. Got a little excited. Woohoo! A little excited there. Thanks, babes. Wow, dang. Wow, dang. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Don't be loud.
Wow. Okay, we're scraping out the blender. You know, I mean, woo! Whoops a daisy. All right. So, to show respect to my home ec teacher, instead of just putting this in the sink, right, what we're gonna do is pour our vegetable broth into the blender, right, so we can get the little bits that's left in the blender. Right? My home ec teacher, her name is Miss Clark. If there's one thing she taught us, was to not waste anything. She made sure that we scraped out every single thing every time we baked and cooked in home ec class. So shout out to Miss Clark, wherever you are. I hope you're well. Thank you.
Yes, Miss Clark.
Okay, so our beautiful paste is ready. All right, let me bring it a little bit closer to you so you can see what it looks like. See? It's like a deep red. And this is what colors your jollof rice. Okay? So babe, what's next? I beg.
I they come.
You know what I'm saying? If you're cooking jollof rice, you gotta speak Nigerian now.
Right.
Wait be that.
We gonna do Maggi, we gonna put small Maggi for inside.
When she says small Maggi, she means a few pieces.
2 pieces.
Okay? So Maggi is AKA bouillon cubes. Alright? And we're using vegetable bouillon cubes, okay? Because this is a flavor that is very paramount when it comes to Nigerian cuisine. Like they use Maggi for their food.
Hey,
okay? Liquid Maggi and solid bouillon cube Maggi.
Yeah.
So Maggi in, right?
Yes, sir.
The fire is low, by the way. Okay, it's not all the way up and it's not completely off either. All right, we're seasoning our paste with Maggi. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper too, because with this, you wanna season everything early and get it where it needs to be so that you can let it go nice and slow and cook. All right, so I'm gonna add pepper first. Jane likes to make her food with just Maggi and no salt, right? But for me, right, what I find as a chef, as a chef, I find that I like to rely on my salt and then the flavor enhancers to enhance the flavor of the salt, right? So Jane has probably put enough Maggi to season the rice. You know, she gave me the side eye when I said I'm gonna add some salt and pepper. You know, so I'm gonna just sprinkle about, let's say, a tablespoon of salt, right? Not a lot, right? Babe, the paste is ready. Are we adding our rice first?
So with this one, we're gonna do half and half.
What is half and half?
We'll add a little liquid now, and then we'll add the other liquid when the rice is in.
I see. Okay, sweetheart. So, we'll add the liquid that's in the blender.
Yes.
All right, and after we add it, we can turn back the fire all the way up, because now we don't have to worry about anything burning. All right? Scrape this out right here, behind you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me get my towel so I can hold my pot. Okay. We can add a little bit more liquid because this is still pretty.
Yeah, I noticed.
Pretty
We have
thick.
more liquid, thank goodness.
Yes, and I have here too, so I'll just use this first.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, this looks so good.
It does, right? I'm gonna crank the fire all the way up.
Come on, rice.
Yeah, you think so? So should we wash some more rice?
Yes. We have some more rice.
All right, let me clean my apron. Okay, so.
Did you taste this, sir?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I'll taste it. Oh, stop.
See?
Stop it. You're right. I taste the flavor the salt adds to it, because I know how it usually tastes. Could you add salt already?
A pinch.
But that's enough.
No,
No.
it's not.
Oh, chef.
It's not. It's fine. Because
Oh, man.
what's gonna happen? Oh, the whole spoon dropped. We're adding that salt because the minute we add all this rice and water, it's gonna dilute whatever we have in the pot.
You're right.
You understand? So you kind of have to go a little heavy on your seasoning initially because all of that is gonna. We'll just get a new spoon, babe. It's all right.
Okay.
I'll rinse this off.
And that's probably why I end up seasoning throughout the whole dish when I could have been done
I
with it.
try not to say anything.
Because I'm not a pro.
You know what I mean? But it's okay. You know, you live and you learn, right?
Yeah.
So the
I
idea.
want to taste it now so I don't make this mistake again, so I know.
No worries. Then you mix it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
Like you season heavily, but not heavily to the point where
It's salty.
It's
Just
salty.
enough where it's.
You'll season it just past what it should be. So that way when you add all of these bland ingredients, it doesn't take away from the actual seasoning.
My darling, can I add a little bit more paprika?
If you want, we're gonna add paprika and we're gonna add our liquid smoke. Liquid smoke is super potent and it's very strong and you don't need a lot. So for that big amount of rice that we're doing, all we need is a cap of liquid smoke.
Wow, I messed that up.
Right?
I don't cook with liquid smoke, guys. I'm learning to.
It's all good. That's why we're here on this channel. We about to learn some things. Some things. All right?
I keep dropping the spoon in there. I know. I'm so sorry.
Jane.
I know. I know you're not gonna invite me back. Oh. Sorry, chef. I'll wash it now.
All right. I gotta wash my hands anyway.
No, I'll lick it. No.
Okay, let me rinse my hands. Okay, so while Jane is rinsing the spoon, all right, we will make sure that everything is good. The heat on this is like low because the viscosity, which is aka the thickness of the paste, is so thick that if we have this full blast, it's gonna sputter and it's gonna splash and come out of the pot and go everywhere and possibly on you and burn you. And we don't want that, all right? So we have it low and we're just letting this cook just for a little bit so the flavor can really intensify. And then we're about to add our rice and really get this party started. All right, so let's taste this one more time. Yes, I'm using my fingers. Honestly, I will go with some more salt. You know, Jen is giving me the side eye again, but I've been cooking for 20 years, so I think I know a thing or two about seasoning food, yeah?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, Jen, you said we're gonna wash some more rice.
Yeah, I'm gonna come do it right now.
No worries, because the paste is ready. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition. We are finishing up this beautiful jollof rice from a Caribbean guy and a Nigerian gal. Alright? And don't mind my accent. It comes and goes, yeah?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, we have washed our... So this is where Jen and I differ. Like, Uncle Ben's rice will never see the light of day in my kitchen.
I get it.
Today only. This.
Sorry about that.
That's what happens when you multitask. So today only, we're using Uncle Ben's rice. Now,
I love Uncle Ben's rice. rice.
we don't like rice, but we do like rice. So for me, it's basmati or jasmine. You know, I like exotic, like.
Oh, okay, I'm not saying another word.
You know what I mean? So Jane loves Uncle Ben's because she's familiar with it and it works for her. So rule of thumb, if it works for you, don't change it, right? If you're used to cooking basmati and jasmine rice, make your jollof rice with those. If you are really good with Uncle Ben's, then use Uncle Ben's. You just want to make sure you wash it very well and then you pick through all the different things that you might find in Uncle Ben's rice.
You know what? I'm done with you.
I'm just saying.
I'm done with
Right?
you.
Other rice, it comes very clean.
I'm done with you, chef.
You don't even
I
have to
can't.
wash
You
it.
know what? I knew that was going somewhere.
But anyway,
I'm done.
all right, here we are, Uncle Ben's. All right,
Here we are.
Here we are, where we are. You want to make sure that you drain all of the water out of your rice when you wash it because the little extra water that's left in there will affect your product. And also, you never want to wash your rice hours, 30, 40 minutes before you cook it because once your rice gets wet, it starts to break down and it gets soft. So the cooking time that will normally be for your rice will shorten, right? So we don't want mushy rice. Your jollof rice needs to be soft, it needs to be loose, and it needs to be delicious, okay? So our paste is ready. We're going right into our paste. We're gonna turn the fire back on, all right? And we're gonna go right into the pot with our rice. And we're gonna give this a nice little mixy mix, right? We also have in the back, we also have our broth that we spoke about earlier, getting nice and hot. So this way, once we add it to this baby right here, it doesn't take too long to come to a boil, so we can set it. The way to make jollof rice very geniusly is to have everything nice and hot and ready to go. You cover it with wax paper, foil, plastic wrap, whatever, put a lid on it. As long as it's boiling, you turn it down and you just let it go nice and slow until it's fully cooked. The steam will do all of the magic for you, all right? Some people will have it boiling, then they'll stir it, they'll open it, stir it again. We don't need to do none of that, right? We're gonna add all the liquid we need, bring it to a boil, cover it up, turn it down, and let the power of the steam and the flame do its thing, okay? So our rice is in, right? And your rice needs to look like this, right? Let me bring a little bit closer to you. Like, you need to be able to see the paste, see the rice, all that stuff. Like, it shouldn't be loose, it shouldn't be wet, right? But definitely you want to have more rice than paste, all right? And remember, your rice doubles, okay? So we have our broth, we're about to pour that in. Turn this off. Babe, would you like to go with all the broth, half of it?
I think half of it.
Okay. Half of it is in. I'm gonna turn the flame all the way up. I'm gonna give this a nice little mix. Now, jollof rice is not for the faint of heart, all right? It's not for the weak. It's not for somebody that, oh, you know, I don't really cook, let me make jollof rice. Nah. This is something that you really want to pay attention to, right? Because the thickness of the liquid in the pot with your rice automatically lends to burning, right?
Oh man.
So you want to be very careful. You want to pay attention to what you're doing. You don't want this on full blast. You don't want this on full flame. You want to make sure that your flame is low enough so that it does not burn. Okay? Very, very careful. You want to pay very close attention to this, okay? So our liquid is in. We're gonna let this come to a boil. Now the liquid with this is very different from the liquid that you would do if you're just gonna boil rice, right? Like if you're making a dirty rice, any kind of rice like that. What's up, kids? I'm recording. Thank you. Leave a message. Bye-bye. So you want to make sure that you have enough liquid in the pot, so that way when it comes to a boil, you can turn it on and let it steam, and that liquid will be enough to cook it all the way through. You don't want to have to add liquid when your liquid has evaporated. You understand what I'm saying? So this is one of those recipes you're gonna have to do a few times just so you can get the right consistency. But if you want an exact recipe, you are in luck, because like I said in the beginning, I've already done this for you and I've put it into a cookbook that you can get if you go to knifeandspoon.com or click on the link that's in the description below. I've already thought about it for you. You know what I mean? That's the kind of caring chef that I am. All right? I love each and every one of you. Okay? So this is simmering. We want it to come to a full boil before we turn it down. All right? And we want to make sure as we're stirring, we're scraping the bottom. Okay, very important, so nothing is sticking. All right, we're gonna check seasoning one more time before we cover this up. So good. All right, we have our foil paper, we have our wax paper, right? So one sheet of wax paper. Let's see if this will fit on top. No. It got a little dirty, so we're not gonna use it. So let's get the other wax paper, the Mama Jamma of wax paper. All right, I'm telling you, man, I'm ready for this. All right, I'm ready. Okay, we have our wax paper. We have our foil paper. And with the foil paper, I always put the foil paper over the wax paper because, you know, there have been some studies and some research out there that says that foil paper is not really something you want to be cooking with your food, because whatever they used to make it or how they used to make it kind of goes into your food, and it's not the healthiest situation for you. So we go with wax paper first, and then we go with our foil paper, okay? So this is bubbling, so I'm gonna turn it down, all right? And I'm gonna put it, I'm gonna leave it right here because we have such a big pot. We need to make sure that there's enough heat coming around, right? So wax paper on top, and then foil paper over it like that, right? And the reason I'm doing this is so that we can trap all of that beautiful steam that's in there so the rice can really do its thing and cook beautifully. All right, so we have our pot in the center of the stove. Yes, bring it over a little bit more. Okay, we're good right there, and we're gonna let that go for about 20 minutes. All right, and we'll be back until. So it's been about 20 minutes or so. We checked the rice. Most of the liquid has evaporated. The thing about jollof rice that you need to pay attention to is that because the liquid that we're cooking it in is so thick, it will start to stick to the bottom and it will start to burn eventually, even though you have it on the lowest. Right now, after we brought it to a boil, we turned it down completely and we let it steam all the way through. But even on the lowest eye, it will still start to stick and burn on the very bottom. So about 20 minutes in, I will uncover it. I stirred everything around, check the doneness of it. If you need to adjust, add a little bit more hot broth to your rice, you can go ahead and do that. Just be mindful of the seasoning, right? But the idea is to let this cook nice and slow and gradually so it doesn't burn, it doesn't stick, and you end up with this nice, loose but firm rice, okay? So we'll give it like another 5 minutes and it should be done, and we will have the most delicious jollof rice ever. 100% vegan and tastes just as good as the original, all right? All right, guys. Okay, people, so our rice is done, all right? But we still have one more step to do. Okay, so after you pull your rice out, and just FYI, this is what your jollof rice should look like, right? A deep, rich tomato color. And what we like to do is take some fresh chopped onions and add it right to our rice. And just give this a nice little mix. Okay, the crunch from the raw onions, the flavor, it all adds to the rice and it just brightens it up. It gives it this beautiful freshness. It gives it just really nice flavor. So that's it. Now we can serve this for dinner. Okay? Super easy, super simple. Sometimes some people will add a little bit of scallions. I like scallions, I like onions. It just adds to the visibility. It adds to the color. It adds to the visuals, right? But our rice is done. And we just scoop it, all right? And remember, there's a whole Scotch bonnet in here, so we're not gonna worry about that. It might have gotten a little crushed, which is great, because it's gonna add some beautiful flavor. Look at that, steam. This just smells so good, all right? And we're done. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me on this amazing Sunday evening. Sign in out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm signing out, and I just want to wish you an amazing rest of your weekend. Thank you for watching. Come back for another amazing, delicious, informative video here on my plant-based channel. I am Chef Ed Harris, and I'm done for today. Until next Sunday. Peace, love, and good cooking.